reason you're not seeing me is, once again, a completely full parking lot. And I'm trying to figure out what went on during the last month that I could pull in here and pull right into a space, and now I can't. And I'm staring right at this one car, and I know exactly what he's going to do. He's eyeballing the same space I'm eyeballing because he thinks he's going to jump in and get the steal. Because there's no way he's been sitting there in front of the building now for like the last 5-10 minutes. What he's going to do is he's going to try to jump in that space where I do. I just watched the guy pull in here like it was the Indy 500, and I couldn't believe this. Did not slow down at all. Went right around here, right through the pedestrian area, winged around, threw his car in reverse, went reverse at like 20 miles an hour. I'm like, and people wonder why, shit happens. It's like, this is ridiculous. But nothing's going to change. There was a reason why we had our shifts spaced out the way we do. But oh well. You're probably tired of hearing this. Of course, as you all know, they're going to be releasing a colorized version, of the War Games. And I've seen the trailer for it. It does look pretty good. Hang on, I'm going to pretend like I'm doing something here. This is ridiculous. Because I know the second this pickup truck moves, this a-hole in the white minivan is going to jump in that spot. I don't even know why I'm waiting at this point. I should just go to the middle parking lot and get it over with, because... Oh, well, you're like, I'm tired of hearing this crap, Dr. Freedom. So that's why you can't see me, because I am literally sitting here with my foot on the brake pedal. Because the second I see someone head towards that truck, I'm going right up on that space. Let me see. You're in a minivan. I'm in a Jeep. Guess who's going in that space? If I wanted to. Then again, I really don't feel like fighting with people over this crap. This is silly. But okay, so yeah, they're going to release a colorized version of the War Games. I've seen the trailer, as I said before. It looks like it's very good quality, work that they've done. It's amazing stuff. Okay, this guy's waiting on the space that's right in front of me. But, well, he has a Ford product. He can park there. I can't. I got to back up a little bit to let this guy out, I think. Yeah. But he's going to need a room. Yes, welcome to the Dr. Freedom course of offensive driving. I can give you plenty of room. Go ahead. Go ahead. You can have it go. I can't park there. I think I'm just going to take one. I think I'm just going to go right to the middle lot. This is silly. Where you have to literally gouge out people's eyeballs just to park your car. I can't wait till they perfect teleportation, but then the human race would truly get lazy. You get up in the morning, I'm beaming off to work. Hopefully all of me makes it this time. Because, yeah, I know the second I go for the space, that dickhead in the white minivan's going to move, and then I'm going to end up in an issue that I really don't feel like dealing with. I'm not kidding. People seem to think this is like, Le Mans or some shit. It's like, what the hell? It's a parking lot. There's people walking around here in the dark. There are vehicles starting to move in the dark. Okay, so back to the war games, which is kind of a fitting subject because that's what this place is now like every morning. Yeah, that guy in the white minivan's been sitting there for like 15 minutes now. Oh, boy. Oh, wait a minute. The guy in minivan has moved. Oh, I see why. Because somebody crawled up his butt. But of course, I'm just hoping they don't edit it down, the war games, like they did, other things that they've, redone and released. Just because, the younger viewing audience is used to having everything done in under an hour. Especially that certain someone who was on the time team who basically destroyed their, I still can't figure out how they're getting put on all these podcasts after they said the famous line, oh, I watched the classic series on 1.5 speed for research. And I'm like, and yet you're at a con buying classic, Who material and all that, acting like you're a fan of the classic series. But you just said in print for everybody to read that when you watch the classic series, you watch it on sped up speed. I'm like, but what can you do? It's the world, I'm galloping around the cosmos is a game for the young these days. Yes, I'm here, but I should be in a parking space by now. And I'm not. I know, you're like, what are we doing here? This man ain't talking about Doctor Who. Of course, I'm going to Chicago TARDIS this weekend. I'm really looking forward to it. Sorry, I can't read the comment box. I can see it's actually moving today. But I am literally just sitting here, with the car and drive. I can't really stare at the screen. Oh, hang on. I'll get in the car, start it, and go. Don't tell the world your life story. Just get in the car and go. Okay, the guy just came out. He's getting into his truck. Here's the moment. Now start the car. Start the car and leave. I'm waiting on you. Okay, now they're in the car. Watch this. No, they haven't even turned the key yet. I'm like, dude, this is no time to contemplate the universe. Start the engine and go home. I can't believe this shit. It's like the first thing I do when I get in the car when I'm going home is I go home. But oh well. Start the car and leave. You're sitting, you just got in the car. Start the engine and leave. He's still there. Hasn't even got it now. Now his lights are, well, Some people sit their car for, an early start and all that, so it's warmed up and stuff by the time they get out of here. Or hang on a second. There's motion. He's got his foot on the brake. There, go. Come on, now, come on. Leave. Sorry about that. Oops. You didn't hear that. That wasn't a pedestrian. No, I'm kidding. Now, you saw how long that took. I'm like, I get in the car, I put on my seatbelt, and I leave. Screw it. Okay, I'm in here. That's good enough. All right. I gotta turn the heat down because I am burning up in here. What the hell? Let's turn that thing off. I'm sitting here sweating. I forgot to check the weather before I left it. I just grabbed my jacket. Okay, so here we are. Yeah, I'm sitting there sweating my head off. Start the car, put it in gear, and get the hell out. Oh, I still can't believe that. I'm like, you've been sitting there for like how many minutes? It's like, are you firing off some knuckle children before you go home? What's going on? Oh well, nah, in this place, if I started playing police sirens on this thing, then, you'd have people are running out of here and throwing themselves on the ground with their, Okay, Mark brought up a good question. Do we complain about? We did. And you know what they looked at me in the face and told me? And this is what they'll tell everybody. We have 3 more handicap spaces out there than the minimum required. But the one that had me roaring, I'm not kidding, I was about to fall out of my chair laughing, and I think they were going to lock me up. I said, one of them looked at me and said, there's still plenty of handicap spaces over there in the north parking lot or whatever. And I'm like, or in the east lot. And I'm like, guys, I work in the back west corner of the building. You want me to park in a handicap space in the far east corner and walk diagonally across the entire building? It kind of defeats the purpose. Guy looked at me like I just pulled down my pants and took a dump on his brand new shoes. I was like, kind of like he had that look on his face like sometimes pandas get when it's time for mating season. They can't quite figure it out. Like, I know I'm supposed to be doing something. I'll give you a few extra minutes because I was, had the phone laying out. And like I said, for like the previous weeks before this one, I was pulling right here and right into a space. And now we're back to this again. It's insane. But all right, so the War Game's coming out, colorized, and like I said, I was actually quite impressed by the job they've done. It's not like the old days. Remember when Ted Turner used to color stuff, and it kind of like, you were having some kind of bad, like Beatles type Yellow Submarine acid trip, and it was like really, really terrible. Now this looks really, really good. I was like, and of course people are throwing a fit because they showed that clip at the end where they make it appear like Troughton is regenerating modern style. This is a break in the established canon of the show. I'm like, guys, there was no regeneration when Troughton changed. The term regeneration did not even get introduced to the end of the Pertwee era in Planet of the Spiders. And that's when they picked it up and ran with it from then. They kept referring to it in the Troughton era as a rejuvenation, or a way called it. There was not even a term regeneration yet for the show. So that's why I die laugh when people say, we cannot have these canon altering things, blah, blah. Let's get back to the original solid timeline. I'm like, the only way you can do that is to go back to 1963 in the beginning of the Hartnell era. There were no Time Lords. There was no Gallifrey. There was a home planet, but it was never named. It was not named until the Time Warrior. The Doctor wasn't a Time Lord until the War Games. It never existed. Yeah, I really wish they had gone in that direction with Joe Martin and all that, because I still, well, we know that the chameleon circuit on this particular TARDIS we've been watching for all these years was working up until Earthly Child, and an Unearthly Child. So why it would be in the form of a police box in the Joe Martin era is beyond me. Because that was my reasoning. It's like, okay, if it's a police box, that means it has to be sometime after an Unearthly Child. If you've ever listened to Big Finish, they had one of the, I think it was Companion Chronicles, I think it was called Quintus, takes place before the Doctor and Susan land on Earth, and the TARDIS's chameleon circuit is still working. Yeah, that's another thing. Sonic Screwdriver didn't come into play until the Troughton era, and even then it was very minimal, and it started getting picked up during the Third Doctor era. But they threw this curveball at you, and I still die laughing at the fact Ian Levine thought, Fugitive of the Jadoon was an incredibly great episode, yet went right back to his screaming, crying, tantrum ways right after. Remember, guys, Doctor Who, rest in peace. 1963 to 2017. We're not long from 2025, and the show's still here. Ascension of the Cybermen. Oh gosh, now you're gonna make me remember stuff. I'd have to go back and look that one up. Let's see. Ascension of the Cybermen. Was that Big Finish? Okay. Oh, well, like I said, I'd have to look it up to be sure. Like I said, I'm way behind on Big Finish and a bunch of other things. Okay, they aren't any different. Okay, I wasn't sure about that. Well, I gotta run inside. Like I said, I'm sorry that I was off camera for so much. I know you all live to see my darling face. All right, so I got to get running inside. Take care, everyone. Series 12, Episode 9, Before the Timeless Children. It's going to hit me in a half an hour when I'm not even thinking about it. Okay. So I got to run inside. Please be kind, be calm, be safe. Take care, everyone. And we'll see you all hopefully tomorrow morning.